I'm not a lawyer, but I went to court today to attend a hearing for Durk's federal murder for hire case. So let me tell you what happened. And since I was there in person, everything I'm saying is something I either heard or saw myself. So I'm going to use my own tweets as the reference because I'm the source. Okay. So the first motion addressed in the hearing was the request for the trial to be delayed. If you're unaware, a couple days ago, some of the attorneys in the case filed a motion requesting that the trial be moved to May 4th instead of this month when it was supposed to start. Now, a lot of folks were reporting that the trial had been officially moved, but that's not accurate because the judge never made a ruling. Those documents were just requests and proposals to the judge. It wasn't the judge's order. And so today, during the hearing, what the judge actually said was May 4th doesn't work for him. And since some of the other attorneys have trials happening around that time, he's thinking the trial will either start on April 21st or April 28th. But he's still going to check some things, so there still is no final decision. But what seems to be for certain is that it will not start on May 4th. The next issue that the judge dealt with was regarding Durk in the segregated housing unit, which is also known as the SHU or solitary confinement. Now, yesterday, January 6, 2026, Durk's attorneys filed a motion saying that Durk has been in the SHU since August 29th of 2025 after he was found with an Apple Watch while in jail. Today, Durk's attorney argued that another inmate was found with an Apple Watch at the same time that Durk was found with one, yet that inmate has been back in general population since October, while Durk has remained in solitary confinement since then. And the attorney says they've been given the runaround as to why Durk is in solitary confinement. So the judge ruled that in 30 days, he wants to have a status conference to understand if Durk is still in the SHU. And in the meantime, he's also going to reach out to the Bureau of Prisons Regional Counsel to see what he can find out regarding the situation. Now, the judge is hoping this issue gets resolved and Durk gets released from solitary confinement before the status hearing in 30 days. But if he is not, they'll discuss it in 30 days. All right, now the next motion that was discussed was a motion to exclude 404B evidence. And this basically has to do with the government wanting to talk about Durk's friendship with King Von, King Von's death, as well as music and lyrics tied to this alleged rap beef between Durk and Quando Rondo, because they say that gives the necessary background for this murder for hire case. So on this issue, the judge said he will make a ruling regarding all of this as they get closer to the trial, but the judge did tell prosecutors that if they plan to use any songs or music videos during the trial, they have to tell the defense which specific lyrics they plan to use, and if it's a music video, which images they're planning to use and why. The next issue was the anonymous jury motion, and on this issue, the judge said he will make a decision as they get closer to the trial. From there, they went to the motion to disqualify the prosecutors on this case. Now, as a reminder, this motion has to do with prosecutors not telling the defense team that the judge overseeing Durk's bond hearing, as well as the prosecutors on this case, all received death threats regarding this case. And since the defense was not notified about this when it happened, they argued that the case should be dismissed, that all Central District of California judges should be recused, and that the prosecutors should be recused. Now, back in November, the judge denied the request for the judges to be recused, but he said that they would discuss the prosecutor's recusal at another time. And so this hearing was another time. After both sides made their arguments, the judge denied the defense's request for the prosecutors to be recused, basically saying that the threats were never tied to Durk and no one ever thought that they were, so it really never impacted the case at all. And then the last motion discussed was a motion filed by Asa Houston, and it was a motion to dismiss count 4. And on this motion, the judge said he needs more time, so he didn't make a ruling. So that's the recap. The next hearing is set for February 9th, and as long as I'm not busy, I'm planning to be there.